Hey guys, you're back here with Credit Connect. Remember, this channel is just about you guys. I want to empower you guys. I want to help you understand your credit, fix your credit, and go out there and leverage that credit. Also, remember, I'm still dropping my VIP mentorship that you guys can still get in for free. Pretty soon, I'm going to be closing those doors. I have over 200 members there, and I'm starting to build out the classes. And if you guys have any friends, your relatives that don't speak English, guys, send them to my Spanish channel, Conecto de Crédito. In this video, what we're going to talk about is how easy it is to go for funding, business funding at 0%. And you can probably end up with your first round very easy with $60,000 to $80,000. Extremely doable at 0% interest. Imagine cashing out all that money, liquidating those cards, and injecting that money into your business or into a down payment for a house or anything that you need, and not being not affecting your personal credit because it's not going to max out your personal credit. It does use the utilization on the business side, but it doesn't work the same, guys. So I'm going to go over some of the banks and where they pull from. Some of these banks, you're probably going to have to, open a bank account, develop some kind of relationship. And like I always tell you, the best thing to do, even if you have A1A credit, is always open the bank account and season that bank account at least for 90 days. Trust me, at the end, you're going to end up with a little bit more. Yeah, you can probably go back and ask for a credit line increase, but why don't you want to get the bank the money right off the bat, right at the beginning? So let's go through them. The first one I'm going to talk to you about is M&T Bank. M&T Bank does offer business credit cards. It is going to pull from Experian. I've seen a lot of people getting business credit cards with them and even business lines of credit with no documentation. But what's the trick, guys? The trick is building the relationship, okay? Opening the bank account, seasoning the bank account. Once they see that you're funded in them and you start depositing money, you start doing transactions, and they see that you're using this bank, they're going to trust you. Now, this is somebody opened a bank account, a business bank account, and what happened? They started overdrafting all the time. And then they tried to get approved, and what happened? They got denied. And they're like, Jackie, but we did everything you said. When I started looking at their paperwork, I'm like, you guys got like overdrafted 6 times in 30 days. Like, that's not going to work, guys. Okay? So make sure that you play it safe. And like I said, like I always say, before you apply for any credit card, do your homework, do your due diligence, check your credit. That's number one. And ask yourself, why do I need this credit card? If it's a credit card that you need right now interest free, then you got to look for interest free credit cards. If you're looking right now for balance transfers, you got to look for a card that gives you balance transfers. If you're looking for a travel card, then that's what you're going to go for. Don't just start applying randomly and start getting hard increase for cards that you really don't need. Okay. So the first one, M&T Bank, and that's going to pull from Experian. Remember, sometimes people can be somewhere else in a different state and it pulls from a different credit bureau, okay? But most of the time it is going to be from Experian. So I'm going to give you 2 from Experian. That one's going to be the first one, and of course Chase Bank. Chase, for me, it's my favorite. I don't think right now there's another institution, another bank or a credit union that is giving such high limits on their business credit cards, okay? And I've seen actually people get up to $150,000 on one card. But you know what? The trick was having that business relationship manager. Actually, this person was, had a bank account with Chase First Personal. They had it like for 2 or 3 years, but they decided to open an LLC. They had their business bank account probably open, I'm going to tell you, at least 7 months. They develop a strong business relationship with the relationship manager. She actually told him all the data points they needed, and he got his first card for $150,000. That was the only card he can get on the business side because they do have a threshold that their cards, it's either one or all 3 on the business side. The max, the threshold is $150,000, but he had one card for $150,000 with no UCC filing one form. So imagine that. He was able to liquidate that card and he was able to inject that kind of money back into his business because he did want to develop, more of the marketing strategy for his business. So that's number 2 card, okay? The Chase Bank for me, that's if you're going to go for funding, that's the first bank I'm going to tell you to open your business checking account. And I'm going to give you another one from Experian because it's the American Express. Remember the American Express, if you already have an American Express on the personal side, you can get their business the blue ink, the blue cash, and it's 12 months interest free, and it's going to be a soft pull, guys. I mean, you can't beat it, okay? Soft pull, 12 months interest free. The third bank we're going to talk about is Citizens Bank. Citizens Bank does have their business card. It is going to pull from Equifax. And again, I've seen people with Citizens Bank getting lines of credit with no documentation. Yes, they're definitely gotten a little bit stricter, but it still can be possible if you know how to play the credit game, okay? It's all how you play it. Take your time. Don't go crazy. Fill out that application correctly. Make sure your algorithm doesn't jump. Make sure everything across the board is the same. Your name, your address, your employer, okay, or employment, your business, whatever it is. You want to make sure that everything is reporting correct. That way there's no hiccups. The other bank I'm going to talk to you about that pulls from Equifax is the GM card. So the GM card also is going to be an Equifax pool. Also, you can get the business credit card with no interest right now. Okay. Remember, this is October 2024. The other bank we're going to talk about is Bank of America. Bank of America is a gem. Bank of America, I've seen people getting one hard inquiry with a business relationship manager and getting 2 business credit cards at the same time. They are going to pull from TransUnion. So imagine if you start getting from these cards, let's just say $10,000, $20,000. Listen, I'm telling you, it's extremely easy to go for funding, and on your first round, get $60,000 to $80,000, even more, with lines of credit cards with no interest, guys. It's just knowing the data points, studying the banks, and just studying your credit as well. Remember, this is not checkers. This is chess. We got to study it. We got to take our time. The other bank that I'm going to tell you is Elon Bank of New Hampshire. They're also going to pull TransUnion. You also can apply for their business credit card. And imagine, I gave you two banks that pull from each credit bureau. So if you do this play, like I said, you can end up easily with $60,000 to $80,000 and even more. It's very doable to get $150,000 between all these cards. But remember, the key to all this is having excellent personal credit. Okay. If you think that you're going to apply for business credit cards and right now the only card you have on the personal side is 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, I'll tell you, hey, hold on. First, build your personal credit. Even if your credit right now is at 700 or 720, if you only have one personal card, I'm going to tell you, don't apply for business card. You might get approved, but if you really want to maximize it, I'm going to tell you first, build up your personal card, get at least 3 cards on the personal side, and make sure you increase those limits. You want to have at least 2 to 3 personal tier 1 cards on the personal side. You want to have at least 1 short installment and 1 long-term installment, okay, on the personal side. And that way you're going to be able to maximize that business side as well. If you get 10 to 20 on that personal, trust me, you're going to end up with 30 to 40 on the business side, guys. It's just knowing the tricks, knowing the hacks, and knowing the secrets, and just playing it safe, okay? We're all here to make money, put this money in our business or for whatever we need and pay it back. So remember, you always have to have an exit strategy. Think, why do I need this money? What am I going to use it for? And how am I going to pay it back? Okay, because if you don't pay it back, you're going to end up in default and you're going to end up ruining your credit. Remember, credit is everything. With credit, sky's the limit. You can travel, you can have a nice house, you can have a nice car, you can go out really nice dinners, and you can have everything. Okay, guys? So don't burn the credit cards, because you're doing yourself a disservice, trust me. The banks are going to survive. They got deep pockets, deeper than yours. You're the one that's going to suffer at the end, okay? Remember, give me a like, subscribe to my channel, give me a comment, join my free mentorship right now, guys. I'm starting to build out the classes, and I am going to start going live in November. That is a promise. Until next time, with me,